All right, I got a story time. Somebody asked me in one of the comments about give them a story time when I was extra gone off the za. So I got one for you. Man, y'all swear to God, I don't believe I'm finna tell y'all this. All right, but I'm gonna sum it up real quick. All right, I came to Chicago, right? I had just became a manager at in Bucktown at Damon in Milwaukee. So if anybody in Chicago, you know about Damon in Milwaukee, it got a lot of stores there. You know, it's busy. It's just like, basically it's, I don't even know how to say it. It's parties all night, pretty much. If you want to party and live it up, it ain't nothing but stores. We talking about Adidas stores, Nike stores. It's clubs, rooftops. It's always something going on. You got the Jordan store there. It's something always going on, right? So I end up meeting these guys because they worked at a pizza place behind the Dunkin'. So I was out there. In the back way, me and old ex-friend by the name of Ken, which we'll get on that story time. But we out in the back way, and we're, you know, we doing our thing with the Zaza. So some guys, you know, some white guys, they walk past, they're like, hey, they're like, you the manager, right? I'm like, yeah. You're like, I knew you smoked. I'm like, oh, no. I'm like, I don't smoke like that. You know what I'm saying? He said, man, I got the stuff on the edibles, right? He got the stuff on the edibles. I'm like, yeah. He like, yeah. I'm like, edibles really don't do nothing for me, right? He like, no. He like, what I got, he like, is crazy. I'm like, okay. He like, just stop by and come see me when you get off work. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, where you be at? He like, I'm the manager. I work at this pizza place now. It's a pizza place right behind the Dunkin'. So I'm like, all right. He like, and I give you a slice of pizza. I'm like, all right, cool. So I let my friend Ken know, like, look, we stopping now. We get off 2 o'clock. Boom. I say, come on, man, let's head to the pizza place. As he promised, he had pizza ready for us and shit like that. My friend ended up eating pizza, drinking a beer. He like, look, he like, I'm gonna make you one personally. He like, cause somebody just bought the last one. I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never bugging, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, that's cool. He like, you work tomorrow? I said, yeah, I work tomorrow. Guys, I kid you not. I'm in the back. He texts me, say, hey, look, I just made it. He like, come out the alley in your back way. I'm like, all right, cool. So he's standing by the door. I open the door and he like, here. So I'm like, damn. I'm like, oh, it's a brownie, right? I don't eat cakes or cookies. It's a brownie. I'm like, oh, it's a brownie. He like, yeah. He like, that's going to get you right. I'm like, all right, for sure. I shut the door. He knocked back on the door. Dude, I'm like, what the fuck? But it was so quick. I knew it was him. So I opened up the door. He like, man, don't eat the whole thing. He like, I'm telling you, because if you eat the whole thing, he like, your mind going to be somewhere else. So I'm like, man, I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. Stop playing with me. I'm true to this. So I'm cocky with it. So I go straight up to the Ken. We in the back, right? Where I work at, we in the back. So I'm like, hey, bro, I'm like, look, he like, dang. I'm like, he like, it don't smell like nothing. I'm like, let's see. So I cut him, you know what I'm saying? He my friend. I split it with him. I cut him half. I said, he said, don't eat it all. So I ain't eating it all. But I ate the whole half one. Boom, I eat it. Now I don't feel nothing. I go out, I work my shift and stuff like that. I get a call on my phone. Then I get a text message that my district manager is about to come see me. But she said she might not be able to make it. So, you know, nevertheless, I'm like, okay, you know, she said she's supposed to come see me to have a one-on-one. Mind you, this shit ain't kicked in yet, bro. It ain't kicked in yet. So we working, we getting done with the rush and stuff. So one of the other employees that was my buddy at the time comes in and he like, yo, I'm like, what? Because I didn't feel nothing. He say, have you saw yourself? I said, what are you talking about? He like, your face. And as he's talking to me, Ken hits the corner like, hey, the district manager out there. I say, I will. Like in the lobby. Soon as he said that, I start feeling all the symptoms. And then I got the employee telling me like, your eyes is bloodshot red. So he asks Ken like, Ken, look at Bob. I'm like, I'm not high. So I'm telling him like, I'm good. He like, no, you look it. So I'm trying to be low key. He like, no, you look it. So Ken like, yeah, you do. He like, you don't feel nothing? I'm like, do you feel something? He like, oh, I ain't eat mine yet. So I look at him, I'm like, you ain't eat yours yet. We're supposed to get this shit together. So now all of a sudden that I know that they saying that I look this way, I automatically, my body is starting to feel it. So I'm like, oh my God, I can't go out there. So now I'm nervous to go out there in the lobby. And so I finally go out there, and then I get closer to the tables, and she's like, hey, bring me some water. I'm like, yeah, I'll bring you some water. So I go bring her some water. So she started coming towards the back, just checking to make sure stuff is dated. So Elizabeth come back there like, hey, your boss is out there. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm scared. I'm like, look, and my eyes red. She say, yeah, your eyes is really red. I'm like, you think she gonna be able to tell? She like, yeah. She like, you look like it. I'm like, I could just tell her I'm tired, right? She like, yeah, if you want to. And she started laughing. So I come out and I'm like, hey, she said, I got my own water. You took too long. I'm like, oh, I got it right here. So she said, come on, let's look over your numbers. Now I got my head down, semi down the whole time. So she like, bring your chair over. She told me like, cause we was sitting like this. So she told me, bring your chair over close to me so you'll be able to look at the laptop so I can break down the numbers and everything. I was just becoming a new manager. She was like, so you can learn the numbers and stuff like that. I'm so paranoid. I don't want to look at my face. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, but I can see. I said, I can see it from right here. So I'm like, telling her like, I can see it from right here. She like, can you please, Roshan, scoot over this way so I can show you. I'm like, okay. So I'm doing like this. So I'm like, so she like, what's wrong? So immediately I go into my acting mode. So she like, what's wrong? I'm like, I just don't want to fail, and I'm scared, and I'm nervous. So, I'm doing this whole thing. So she say, are you crying? So I rub my eyes like this so it can bring that redness, right? So she said, are you crying? I'm like, I just want to do good. It's just so much work to take in. Which it was, because that whole week was just like learning the red book, learning all this stuff. It was just like a lot of work at first. So I'm going into my dramatic code thing. So she's like, don't cry. She's like, I'm here. I'm on your side. Da, 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 da. And she's talking to me. She's like, you're doing great in your numbers. I just want to break it down and let you know about the red zone and things like that. Boom. She leaves. When I tell you guys, I was lifted that whole entire day. Me and Ken, we went out to eat and we went to the rooftop, right? This is how gone I was. We went to the rooftop. First, my bad. We stopped at Walgreens. We got those the little wines, the little wine bottles. We knocked those back. You know what I'm saying? We was knocking those back like it wasn't. We was drinking that on front. That's another story, but we was knocking those back. Right? So he like, man, he like, look, I'm finna eat mine. So he ate his, but he was smart. He didn't put the whole thing in his mouth. He ate half of his half. So he like, let's go to this rooftop. Now we go to the rooftop. We having beers. We having shots. So we're waiting on the dude to come and take our order for the food. But he's skipping over us, right? Now, imagine when you start feeling the symptoms, you feeling hungry and your stomach doing a brrr, brrr, and your stomach talking, you ready to just hurry up. Have you ever went to a restaurant and you just really wish that the food was already ready? When I tell you, he was taking forever. People was coming in. He was skipping off of us. He was a top. So Ken looked at me like, so he ain't gonna even check to see. He see our stuff empty. He ain't gonna come and check to see if we want anything or whatever. So Ken like, hey, right? So he like, oh, give me a second. Ken say, dang, we gave him a lot of seconds. I'm like, just chill. So he come down. He like, you guys want to order anything to eat? So Ken like, I ain't even hungry no more. He like, we can just stop and get some McDonald's. I'm like, oh, I don't want no McDonald's. I'm like, I want some wings. But we end up going somewhere else, and I got Japanese wings. But let me show you how we played it out. So Ken like, you know what? How much is your pitcher of Long Island iced tea? So I'm like, man, I'm already, you know what I'm saying? I'm already tipsy. I'm good. Because, you know what I'm saying, that brownie was kicking in. And it was full of fat. It just wouldn't go nowhere. This was homemade. This went from the dispenser. This was like not going anywhere. So Ken busts out and say, no. I want to get you right. We're going to get right. We're going to be good. I'm like, man, we're going to have to get an Uber for sure now. So Ken like, let me just get a picture. So the dude like, oh, the picture ain't nothing but $15. So he say, no, we want the big picture. So he like, oh, that's $40. Because Ken wanted the bigger one. The small one was just, cheaper. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what we go to? Joe, I swear to God. I think I still got the picture. I swear to God. We get the picture, right? Now, he didn't take a tab. We don't got a tab open or nothing. So Ken say, so he want to play with us? He like, we're going to wait till he walk all the way down the end. That ain't no security. This is an elegant place. This is for like upscale people. People are eating on the rooftop. Like, I've been to a lot of rooftops, but this was my first rooftop I ever been to. So, and then mind you, we work around this area. So Ken like, we finna walk out. I say, on the bill? He like, yeah. I'm like, no, let's pay the bill. He like, no, he just skipped over. I'm like, no, let's just pay the bill. I'm like, you ain't even done what you drink. He like, oh, I'm taking this. I'm like, you lying. Now, at the time, you know what I'm saying, I'm still a bad boy, you know. So I'm like, now this was like 5 years ago. So I'm like, all right, do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me see you, let me see you do it. Do it. So he like, you think I'm capping, don't you? You think I'm playing? Oh God. He was not capping on my mama, boy. Oh, Mary and every little lamb she get. Oh God, this dude took the picture and started walking. Mind you, I'm sitting there because I'm in shock like he's really walking off. And so the dude spotted him. He like, hey, when he looked, and I just got up and I walked off behind him, but I hurried up and ran. So people trying to stop us, the waitress dude, and people, the workers, they run out. Hey, we gone with a picture of, it's hot over there too, because the police love to, you know, just be around the area and making sure that things is okay. That was probably the most littiest moment. You know what I'm saying? That was probably like the littiest moment, bro. That was the littiest freaking moment. So yeah, that was one of the times that I got really uplifted. Let's put it like that. But y'all make sure y'all comment down at the bottom below. I just want to go on ahead and drop those little 2 vids. Don't forget to run up that story time at part 683. I'm willing to drop it today. Let's just see where it goes. Other than that, I love y'all. Happy Sunday. We go.